Oh.
That's right. We have to mask them.
Yeah.
We're going to mask them.
Yeah.
Morning, Annie. Morning, Linda.
Leaving them inside this year might keep me from propagating more of them.
Hey, Linda.
Good morning, everyone. I just made it.
Here's Reverend Bill with your God Call.
Today we're going to talk about another one of those words that can mean different things to different people in different times. At this time of year, one of the words that comes up is icing. Now, if we're talking about the top of a lovely cake, that's one thing. And if we're talking about the roads or the wing of an airplane, that's something entirely different. So when you turn your attention to icing, invite the highest, happiest, most joyous experience that you can have and get warm and cozy with it.
Sunday morning, rain is falling. Still some covers share some scale. Clouds are surrounding us in moments unforgettable. You twist to fit the mold that I am in. But things just get so crazy, living life gets hard to do. But I would gladly hit the road, get up and go if I knew that someday it would bring me back to you. That someday it would bring me back to you. That may be all I need. In darkness she is all I see. Come and rest your bones with me. Driving slow on Sunday morning, and I never want to leave. Fingers trace your every outline. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Paint a picture with my hands. Back and forth we sway like branches in a storm. Change the weather, still together when it ends. That may be all I need. In darkness she is all I see. Come and rest your bones with me. Driving slow on Sunday morning, and I never want to leave. But things just get so crazy, living life gets hard to do. I would gladly hit the road, get up and go if I knew that someday it would bring me back to you. That someday it would bring me back to you. That may be all I need. In darkness she is all I see. So come and rest your bones with me. Driving slow on Sunday morning, and I never want to leave.
Thank you so much, and welcome to Sunday morning on Zoom with New Thought Philadelphia. Good morning, good morning, good morning. And we have some icing, like the God Call said. This is all just coming together beautifully. So as usual on Zoom, we will keep our microphones muted unless we're going to be sharing, so we can avoid a cacophony. But what the heck, let's start off as usual with a cacophony. Go ahead and unmute your microphone and repeat after me. I open myself to love.
I
open myself to love.
I open myself to joy.
I
open myself to joy.
I open myself to warmth and light within.
I open myself to warmth and light within.
And I know that good is right here, right now.
And
I know that good is right here, right now.
And so it is.
So it
Oh,
is.
Thank you. You can do the mute thing again. New Thought Philadelphia is an open and loving community of spiritual adventurers, welcoming each person to experience their divine nature in an empowering space of unconditional love. Whatever path you've been on, whatever brought you through our Zoom today, wherever you're heading next, we have been expecting you. And welcome home. So we believe there's one power, love, intelligence, or force that creates everything, including each of us, and that we're each using that same power, love, intelligence, or force to create our lives according to our beliefs. Or as we like to say around here, our new life begins with a new thought. So if you have any extraneous electronic devices that might distract you in the course of the next hour or so, go ahead and turn them on shush so that you don't necessarily get distracted by the extraneous noise. I'm Reverend Bill Marchione. Our music today is by the amazing Adam Webb, just back from a tour of COVID land. We'll hear some more stories about that perhaps in a little bit. And our practitioner for the celebration today is Joe Catanzaro. So we begin our celebration the way we begin everything, with a practical prayer. Joe will unmute and then she will lead us in our practical prayer, our invocation.
good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Take a breath and with me, rest in the truth of who we really are. You are an individualized expression of the divine. The one love, the one power and intelligence, the one creative force has created each one of us. We are individualized expressions created from that divine substance, empowered with its own divine spirit. It allows us to create our lives and express ourselves as individualized extensions of its own infinite self. I know that the celebration today is an expression of each one of us as that individualized extension. We are that one individually and collectively. That unlimited power, love, and intelligence flows through each and every one of us. So I know that today's celebration is a brilliant, loving, unlimited expression of that divine that we each are. And I accept all of the good that flows into our lives as we celebrate with song and words and feelings and connection and deepening together. So for each one here, for all of this good, I accept it now. I claim it, I allow it, and I release my word to the creative law that from the beginning of time has always said yes, and so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Joe. And the reason that we do a practical prayer is not to appease God or get ourselves out of trouble. It's actually to create a new experience in our lives. So if there's anybody who's got a prayer that you've been doing and it's showed a result for you and you'd like to share about your prayer works, this is a great time to do that. You can raise your hand or you can click the reaction button. Go ahead, Joe.
So this just occurred to me because I don't know why it didn't happen. It occurred to me earlier, but I managed to get an appointment for my 94-year-old father for a COVID shot. I am so happy, I can't tell you. So
that is awesome.
And I didn't have to spend hours on the internet to do it.
Perfect. Yeah, we're just looking for that alignment and that harmony. Excellent story. Anybody else got something to share? I have a similar vaccination story of one of my minister friends I'm on a board with, had been just struggling for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, trying to find an appointment. And I said, well, you don't need to struggle with that. So we did a prayer. And the next meeting that we had like a week later, she said, oh yeah, the next day, it just happened. And that's the seeming coincidence of the way that these things can come together. So if there's something that you're struggling with, something that's a challenge for you, then take it to prayer, invite something new and different. And the talk later today is called 10% Better. We'll be getting back to this topic as well. Right now, we got some announcements, and those are brought to us by Sarah.
Good morning, everybody. This information on ICE can be found on our website at newthoughtphilly.org and in our e-weekly newsletter. Please sign up for it on the website. The Practical Prayer class returns for another 5-week series of 1-hour classes beginning on Saturday, March 6th. The final session includes an interactive experience featuring live original music by Amy Steinberg. Awaken the Goddess Within is an 8-week class with Sunny Bohem. It will be on Tuesdays from 7 to 8:30 p.m. on Zoom beginning March 16th. The fee for this class is $140 plus $20 for a private phone consult with Sunny. We have a community check-in and meditation twice a day on Zoom. They're inspiring and fun and are less than 15 minutes. Everyone is welcome. We're taking part in the 64-day Gandhi King Season for Nonviolence, which runs through April 4th. You can sign up on the website to get daily inspirations by text or email. They're really lovely. I love them. They come in at 11 in the morning, so it's perfect. New Thought Philly is active on social media. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And please also join the Philly Spiritual Adventurers group on meetup.com. The Power of 8 Intention Circle is on Monday at 7 p.m. Please contact Sandy for information. The Regional Men's Group meets by Zoom the third Monday of every month. The Women's Group meets on this Thursday, February 25th at 7 p.m. on Zoom. Please contact Joe or Sandy for additional information. Thank you to the production team and presenters who make our Zoom celebrations work. There is a short technical rehearsal on Saturday afternoon and a final check-in before the celebration on Sunday. To join the team, please contact Carla Ann. Reverend Bill and the practitioners are available by appointment for professional prayer. After the celebration today, Joe will be available for a Miracle in a Minute prayer at no charge. We will leave the Zoom meeting open for people to talk amongst ourselves at completion. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you, Sarah. Yeah, thank you everybody for being here. And when we get together in person, we have a gift for people who come back and visit us for the second time. So everybody is going to get a gift when we do finally get back together, and we're starting to think about what that looks like when the time comes. So that the eager anticipation happening. We also have a blessing and a welcome packet for our first-time visitors. For the welcome packet, basically sign up for the e-news on the website. But for the blessing, if there's anybody who would like to either raise your hand to show us that you're here for the first time, or click your reaction button. Jessica, there, wonderful. And what we want you to do now is just receive, and the rest of us are going to rub our hands together, generate some light, some warmth, some love, feeling going on. Send that out. You are the bright light of God's love. Thank you for shining your light and sharing your love with us today. And welcome. As Adam sings the next song, usually what we would do if we were in person is we'd wander around the room and hug each other. But even if we were in a close room together, that would be outside the boundaries at this particular time. So go ahead and put your screen on gallery view and just make eye contact with the other folks who we're gathering with today.
If I had it all, could I be the happiness I'm told I should achieve? Or could I see inside of me a choice I make to be or not to be as I sail along through this world and the great unknown? I don't have to be perfect, I don't have to be right, I don't have to achieve to say I've lived a good life. No, I just keep searching through all of these answers I find. Destiny is uncertain, so I'll just live a good life and celebrate all of the love that I make along the way. It will keep me safe when all my skies are gray. I'll rise above the storm, rise above the storm. If I should arrive at the door, my accomplishments are that and nothing more. But love, yes, true love is enough to turn the key to this illusion as I sail along through this world and the great unknown. Well, I don't have to be perfect, I don't have to be right, I don't have to achieve to say I've lived a good life. No, I just have to keep searching through all of these answers I find. Destiny is uncertain, so I'll just live a good life and celebrate all of the love that I make along the way. It will keep me safe when all my skies are gray. I'll rise above the storm, rise above the storm, rise above the storm, rise above the storm. Maybe you say I'm wrong, maybe you say naive, maybe the world is different, we're all gonna die eventually. What if I say alright, what would you say to me? Even if we go down, I'm still gonna live elevated and free as I sail along through this world and the great unknown. Well, I don't have to be perfect, I don't have to be right, I don't have to achieve just to say I've lived a good life. No, I just have to keep searching through all of these answers I find. Destiny is uncertain, so let's all just live a good life. And if I leave you with nothing, please let me leave you with light. The world can be so dark till we rise above the storm, till we rise above the storm, till we rise above the storm, rise above the storm.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much, Adam. Awesome. And we have a brand new member to the production and presentation team today, Hannah, who joined New Thought Philadelphia when she was finishing up at Temple, and then we prayed her into this job in New Orleans, and then she found that she was able to stay connected. So here is Hannah Sandler to do for the first time the Flames of Faith.
All right. We perform this ceremony to acknowledge that all people and all faiths come from the one power, love, intelligence, which we call spirit or God. We honor the richness that comes from our shared diversity and bless the interwoven energy of the divine feminine and masculine. We light the first candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the second candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the ways of primal spirituality. We light the third candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the fourth candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the fifth candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the sixth candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the seventh candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We light the 8th candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light the 9th candle for all forms of Mifat, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. As we light the healing candle, please put silently into the light the names of anyone or any place you wish to have experienced the healing flame of God's eternal love.
Blessed be. Our reading today is by Jane Rourke of Jane Rourke and the Marvelettes over there during that last song.
Good morning, everyone. So today's reading is entitled Great Expectations from Science of Mind magazine, January 20th. February, yesterday. First quote from Jean Houston. Is it any wonder that so many of the great geniuses and innovators are those who have kept their childhood alive in them? Wonder has a buoyant, exhilarating crest of the wave effect. It is at once, sorry. All right, that's my daughter calling from Utah. It is at once an expectancy of fulfillment and an anticipation of more to come. Oh my God. I'm sorry, just gotta stop. From Ernest Holmes, if we wish more, we must increase our expectancy. We must identify ourselves with more. The law, being absolute, can produce what we call a big thing as easily as what we've termed a small thing. Can you just text her and tell her that we're doing this? Okay. What do you expect in life? It breaks my heart that we are often taught not to have any expectations so that we won't experience the pain of disappointment. Actually, this statement only applies to having expectations of others. In fact, I call them illegal expectations, just to remind myself not to have them. Expectations of life and expectations for myself, on the other hand, are good and powerful. They are creative. What are your expectations about yourself and your life? Are your expectations in alignment with your desires? Do you have a sense of limitation of what is possible? Do you expect to have an amazing and joyful life? These questions are an invitation to consciously shift to creating the vision and expectation of good. Holmes says there should be a sense of joy in this work, a feeling of enthusiasm as well as conviction. A warm mental expectancy backed by a deep intellectual conviction and an even deeper spiritual awareness. Creating the sense of expecting something wonderful and fulfilling takes time and intention. What a gift it is to tune out to the world and tune into the dreams that fill the heart. This is the place to start. Let imagination take over, allow a vision to grow without limitation. Step into the vision and feel the reality of it here and now. Allow a sense of excited expectancy to build. Bask in this. Herein lies the power to create. The affirmation today is, I embrace life with a joyful expectancy. I see myself living in love and abundance with a deep sense of well-being.
When I was first looking at what today's topic was going to be, and even with what Jane was talking about, and that it's kind of about getting out of your own way and trusting and having faith that what you're trying to do or what you're excited about, everything's going to be okay if you take that leap. And leap can mean faith or just blocking out fear and anxiety about what might happen and trusting that only good is going to come. So this song is called I'm Jumping In. I've been standing on the ledge and on the bench just wondering, what if I just took a chance, put all my chips on black or red? When becomes a bet, and because of it I've become the best at everything I'd ever dreamed or hoped to be is now in reaching. What if all it took for me was one belief? Undoubtedly, yeah, I would tell my younger self, no, I would yell.
No more time to waste. No good comes to those who wait, so go do what you love. One moment you're here, the next you are gone. So stay if you want. I'm jumping in. I've been told for so long it's not worth the risk. Down below is my story. Yeah, yeah, yes. It won't be told without me. No, 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 no. Na, 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 na. Now I know it's time to move, but what to do? Yeah, what's the move? How about I take a step that multiplies up to Everest? And even if I slip and fall, my loving heart will make the call to reassure my worried mind. It'll be alright, just make the climb, and I will show you happiness, the likes of which you've never met. Now the journey here was heaven sent. Choose a path and stick with it. No more time to waste. No good comes to those who wait, so go do what you love. The moment you're here, the next you are gone. So stay if you want. I'm jumping in. I've been told for so long it's not worth the risk. Oh, down below is my story. Yeah, yes, it won't be told without me. No, 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 no. Well, I've been ready all along, and finally my fear is gone. There's no question that my time has come, so carpe diem, because there's no more time to waste. No good comes to those who wait, so go do what you love. One moment you're here, the next you are gone. Stay if you want. I am jumping in. I have been told for so long that it's not worth the risk. Oh, down below is my story. It won't be told without me. No, 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 no.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, Adam. And good morning. Good morning, all. As I mentioned earlier, the talk title today is 10% Better, and it kind of keys into the stuff that we pray for and what it's possible for us to experience as we're doing our prayer. There are a couple of different kinds of prayer. The one that we do is a practical prayer, is what we call it. It is an affirmative prayer where we are claiming our good, and it's also called a spiritual mind treatment. It follows a particular form or style that lets us align with the infinite power and presence that creates everything, and allow that power to create our next new experience. Another sort of prayer is a prayer of petition, where we're going to ask God to please do something for us that would normally not be expected. A lot of times those come up as foxhole prayers. Oh, please, God, if you save me from X, Y, or Z, then I promise I'll do A, B, and C sometime later. And I've been having wonderful conversations with a colleague who was a Christian evangelical minister for a 30-year career. And her congregations then really liked having prayers of petition. And she got to the point where she didn't really believe it anymore. It wasn't resonating with her to ask God and then let God decide whether or not we deserve it. And so we're doing a lot of studying and working together, deepening into that. And we've had some wonderful discussions about why some people would prefer to do a prayer of petition rather than an affirmative or practical prayer. And part of it, from what I can tell, has to do with responsibility. So if I am the creative agent here and I am in alliance with that infinite creative power that has created everything, then whatever it is that's showing up in my life is a result of my thinking, my beliefs, my intentionality, and my prayer work. And I can't blame somebody else. If, on the other hand, I'm doing a prayer of petition and I'm asking God, and then it doesn't show up the way that I wanted it to, I can blame God. Oh, isn't that comfortable and convenient? We can blame God for the lot in life that we're having when it's not the one that we want to be having. I can do that. You can do that. We are all welcome to do that. We don't have to, but we can. And the reason that we can is because God doesn't care. God loves you so much that God doesn't care. Now, that seems a little counterintuitive, that God doesn't love you, or that God loves you enough that God doesn't care. So the fact of the matter is that God can't help but love us. In John 3:16, it says, God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. Only begotten son wasn't Jesus. Everything in the Bible is either historical, metaphorical, or metaphysical. They are not labeled. It doesn't tell you which one is which. But in the beginning, there was darkness and void and God. I mean, and you can call it spirit, nature, or the Big Bang. It's the same story. In the beginning, there was only that one, that singularity. And that one started sharing itself, started expanding, started becoming and evolving and expressing itself in different ways, in lots of rich detail and individualization. So as the the periodic table of elements started forming, which is all nuclear reactions in stars that are creating other matter and other atoms, and those are coalescing over a rather long period of time, forming itself into everything that exists everywhere. So everything that exists is some particular expression of the infinite. And I say particular because the particles are put together differently. Now, the particles are all that same infinite energy, that divine love that it started with. So only begotten Son is that divine creation. When the Big Bang happened, the begotten Son was all of the universe as it's expressing and expanding and revealing itself. And if we decide that we want to put that into the person of Jesus so that we can hold him up as our great exception, and he is better than everybody else, and we'll never be able to do what he can do, and maybe we'll get a good favor because God or Jesus or whoever it is that we're praying to will do us a solid, then when we get our experience of life that we're looking for, it's wonderful and we can thank God for it. And if we don't, then we can say that either we weren't worthy, or God is punishing us for some reason, or God let us down. And then we can get into that whole line of thinking about, how would God let X, Y, or Z that we don't like happen in the world? And the answer is yes. The answer since the beginning of time has always been yes. Let there be light. Yes. Let there be form. Yes. Let there be the firmament. Yes. Everything that is intended in that consciousness, that high consciousness, activates the creative law and brings something new into being. That's been happening since the beginning of time. And as conscious beings, because we are aware of ourselves and aware of our thinking and able to create a new thought, to set a new intention, we are constantly activating that creative law. We are always not just able to create something new, we are always creating something new. Every moment, every breath, we are creating something new in our experience. Isn't that wonderful? And what can we create? We can create anything. We can create anything. And it's not a magic wand where we get to wave it and suddenly, in a completely impossible way, something new happens. What happens is, by the orderly unfolding of events, that new experience comes into our lives. Remember, that creative law is always saying yes. The answer is always yes. So the challenge for us is, what's the intention? If I intend something that I don't believe can happen, if I say I would love to have a rain shower of $100 bills come down into my backyard, it sounds like an interesting story. I don't think that's going to happen. I do not have the belief that once I make that statement, that it's about to start happening. And so what happens is, I don't get the rain shower of $100 bills because I don't believe it can happen. The yes is to my belief. I believe it can't happen, even though I say I want it to happen. So the answer is yes, and it doesn't happen. So our whole teaching is about changing those beliefs, changing those thoughts, inviting new experiences. And that's where we get to 10% better. Because if I'm inviting something that is good as I can possibly imagine, and I actually believe that it's possible, I can extend myself. I can say, yeah, 10% better than that. Because, that's wiggle room. 10% plus or minus, that's completely within the realm of possibility. And so we love doing that. And there are plenty of prayer work stories that we've heard about a hip replacement surgery that goes as well as we could possibly imagine and 10% better. And we describe the story of the best one that we've ever heard of. What's the easiest that could be? My younger brother got his hip replaced a few weeks ago, and I talked to him the day before, and I talked to him the day after, and he was I think he was home the same day, and he's lying in bed recuperating. He says, I feel about the same way I did yesterday, because lying in bed after a while would start to ache a little bit, and now he'd had the hip replacement. It was the same experience. Everything was completely smooth and easy as he could possibly imagine, and 10% better. And why not? Why not that? So we go around looking for a COVID vaccine for dad. As long as we are comfortable knowing that there's one out there and it's possible, we can set the intention for that. We can do the practical prayer for that. We can invite that. And if our mind is telling us, yeah, it might take a while, we might have to be on the phone for a while, we can say, yeah, 10% better, or 10% easier, or a little bit smoother, or a little bit more. And the universe says yes. Because that's what the universe does. The universe says yes. The law is always responding to us by saying yes. So acknowledging that we're responsible, which is the challenging part of all of this. If I'm having an experience in my life that I don't like, I'm responsible for that too. And in order to change it, I may have to change my activities in the world. I may have to do some different things. I may have to dance to some different steps. But the first thing that I want to do is get rid of the belief that has to be. I want to be able to turn myself away from the experience that I've been having and invite something new. And that's all in consciousness. That's an intention. And a belief is basically, or faith is a thought held in mind that we repeat to ourselves often. Now, when we're setting positive intentions and we're doing affirmations, that's wonderful. The law is saying yes. And on the other hand, when we worry, when we think about the bad outcome that we don't want or the uncomfortable situation that we'd like to avoid, that sadly fills all of the requirements for an effective prayer. Keeping something in mind, focusing on it, putting our energy into it, and activating with our beliefs. So you are free to do that. You can do that anytime you want because you have choice. Don't. Just my invitation, if you find yourself doing that, if you find yourself worrying about something, if you find yourself having thoughts about negative things going on in your life, and they're coming up repeatedly, that is an invitation to change your thinking. That is an invitation to uproot those old ideas and replace them with some new ideas. And even if you don't know how you can possibly get rid of something that you've been concerned about that's been part of your life forever, see if there's a way to get 10% better. If it's something that's been a huge problem, can it become just a problem? If it's been a problem, can it become a mild problem? If it's been a little bit distracting, can it become something that is no longer in your awareness? And as we set the intention for those things to happen, a little and a little and a little more, the creative law in the universe that creates everything says, Yes, because that's the only answer that it has. And I'm not making this up. There's another part in the New Testament where Jesus was, I think he was on a rant at this point. This is in Luke chapter 12. Do not worry about your life, what you will eat, nor about the body, what you will put on. Life is more than food, and the body is more than clothing. And perhaps he was saying that in a very pastoral, loving, wonderful way. And then he goes on with, one of his parables. Consider the ravens, for they neither sow nor reap, which have neither storehouses nor barn, and God feeds them. Of how much more value are you than the birds? Well, setting aside the relative value of humans and birds, if the birds don't need to worry about it, then the humans probably don't need to worry about it too. The good is available. And then he goes on, a little belligerent. And which of you, by worrying, can add 1 cubit to his stature? If you then are not able to do the least, why are you anxious for the rest? I think he was mocking them. When I read that, I think he's mocking me if I believe that. Why would I put my energy into worrying about things that I don't really want to have happen when there's so much complexity and so much opportunity and so much magic available in the world? I can turn my attention to that. That's what he said. Consider the lilies, how they grow. They neither toil nor spin, and yet I say to you, even Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed like one of these. If then God so clothes the grass, which today is in the field and tomorrow is thrown into the oven, how much more will he clothe you? And this is where I think he was getting a little salty. He said, "Oh, you of little faith." And do not seek what you should eat or what you should drink, nor have an anxious mind. For all these things the nations of the world seek after, and your Father knows that you need these things. That infinite creative power that creates everything is available to us. It knows what we require. Perfect example. Take a deep breath in right now and let it go. Did you need to control the amount of oxygen that came in that breath? No, you didn't need to worry about that. And if you didn't need to worry about that, there's probably a whole bunch of other stuff you don't need to worry about as well. Because the way that Jesus put it, your Father knows what you need. And then he wrapped it up. He said, but seek the kingdom of God and all these things shall be added to you. He was telling us to be in alignment with that infinite creative power, with that divine source of everything, to be engaging with that so that we can invite something new into our lives. And the payoff line there is, it is the Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. It is the Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. The kingdom of heaven is available to us. The infinite loves us so much that it will let us choose whatever we want. If we choose joy and harmony, peace and love, prosperity, health, vitality, creativity, wonderful relationships, spectacular opportunities, the creative law says yes. And if we choose to struggle and toil and do work that we don't like doing just because it pays the bills, because we are convinced that we have to, that we are convinced that we are trapped by our circumstance or our situation, the infinite creative law of the universe is going to say yes. So let's pay attention to our lives. That's the invitation for all of us for today and for this week and for what's next. If there's something that's not working in your life, instead of complaining about it, notice it. Notice it. If there is a shadow over here, if there's something obstructing the light, if there's something that's bringing me fear or unhappiness or pain or anguish or worry or concern or fill in the blank, that's a shadow. I know that the light is there, but I'm not looking at it. So what I want to do is pivot. So I'm looking toward the light. Use those experiences that you have where it's not coming together the way that you want it to identify the way that you want it to, turn towards that, and then set the intention for what you want. As good as you can possibly imagine, and 10% better. Get clear on it. Visualize it. Vision it. Write it down. Put it in a journal. You can wordsmith it and you can craft it. And as you go through the process, you can notice when your belief system is pushing back. Usually that happens right after the affirmation step in a practical prayer. Is I make the claim that, I am prosperous and successful and happy. And the little voice in my head says, yeah, but the bank account is this, that, or the other thing, or yeah, but there's been that other challenge. That's not negative. That's our guidance system. When I'm making a claim, if I'm saying I believe something and then those little voices are coming up and saying that I don't believe them, that's where my growing edge is. So then I get to step back a little bit. Okay, what do I believe? What's the edge of what I could possibly believe, the situation, the circumstance that I can have here? And okay, so that's what I believe is available to me. Is it possible that it could be 10% better? Just 10%, yeah, it's a little scotch. That's some wiggle room. Could it be 10% better? And then set the intention for that. Because we don't necessarily have to hit the ball out of the park. If we bunt and get on base and continue around, we still wind up creating that new experience that we're looking for. It's little steps. It's taking responsibility. It's being accountable, and it's being open to those new possibilities. And one last word about that. If you think that what you're praying for, what you're intending, what you're inviting, what you're desiring is big, looking for a new job or a new career or a different relationship or a new home, or to get out of financial struggles, or overcome a health challenge or something along those lines. Some things feel big. And I'm not dismissing that at all. Some things feel big. But we're talking about prayer, which is involving the infinite creative power that has created everything. So when we imagine the biggest thing that could possibly happen anywhere here on planet Earth, the biggest thing we can possibly imagine, and then you zoom out so that you're imagining not just our solar system or our galaxy, but the universe that's made up of billions of galaxies. The biggest thing that we can possibly imagine happening here on Earth will not change the universe at all. The same power that creates the stars is creating your life. And you can let it create your life in whatever manner you choose, as good as you want, and 10% better. So there's our invitation this week. Invite something spectacular, fabulous, wonderful, and listen for those little voices. They're not the truth, but they're reminders of where you're starting so that you can take another step forward, because you deserve it. You are wonderful. And so it is. Thank you.
There's so many songs about rainbows. What's on the other side? Rainbows are visions, but only illusions. Rainbows have nothing to hide. So we've been told, and some choose to believe it. I know they're wrong, wait and see. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. Who said that every wish must be heard and answered when wished on a morning star? Somebody thought of that, and someone believed it. Look what it's done so far. And what's so amazing us stargazing. Oh, what do we think we might see? Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. And have you been half asleep, and have you heard the voices? Well, I heard them calling my name. Is this the sweet sound that calls the young sailors? The voice might be one and the same. And I've heard it far too many times to ignore it. It's something that I'm supposed to be. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me.
Thank you, Adam. That was beautiful. And now we're going to spend a few minutes in meditation. And no surprise, I think we should meditate on embracing that those unlimited possibilities, thinking of the best that we can imagine, and then adding that 10% more. So settle in, get comfortable in your chair, feet flat on the floor, whatever position you're comfortable in. And we'll start by taking some slow, deep breaths. We do this because it really does help us to settle and physically relax. We'll take a deep breath in, hold it at the top, and then release. Inhale. Hold it at the top and release. Feel your shoulders relax and tension start to leave your body. Another deep breath in. Hold it at the top and release. Settle in some more. Feel that increasing relaxation and lack of tension. And one more. Deep breath in. Hold it and release. Scan your body quickly and just see if you can identify any spot that's holding tension, and imagine that knot relaxing. See if you can get 10% more relaxed. And then whatever it is, whatever good that you are searching for, whatever good you intend, health, wealth, vitality, creativity, relationships, whatever it is, embrace life with joyful expectancy. I accept all the good I can imagine and 10% more. So you can breathe in that joyful expectancy and fill yourself with 10% more than the good that you can imagine. So continue to watch your breath, focus on your breath, and go into the quiet, embracing that joyful expectancy, filling yourself with 10% more than what you can hold. And just continue to breathe slowly.
As we set an intention for some new and wonderful and joyous and uplifting experience, and have the audacity to ask for it to be as good as we can imagine and 10% better, the question might come to mind of how could that possibly happen? And it's a reminder that it's none of our business. How? God knows how. Our opportunity is to recognize that infinite power and presence, that creative intelligence that has created everything since the very beginning of time. This is the power that does the entire universe. Stars and solar systems and galaxies. We invite that infinite creative power that has created everything, that has created each of us, to continue to create. To know that we are focal points of that infinite intelligence. We are gateways through which that divine mind is thinking. We are channels through which that divine good is flowing. And so as we set the intention for whatever this next new experience is, that infinite power is already saying yes. That's what it does. It is the Father's good pleasure to give us the kingdom. It's already saying yes. This good that we're inviting is already showing up in our lives in all sorts of different ways. There is no limit. And it's not possible that by having more good in my life, I'm taking something away from somebody else. It is an infinite universe. Good and more good and more good. In whatever way we're inviting it, intending it, accepting it. And so I know that's what's going on right now for each of us individually, for all of us as a group, as a community. As the love continues to unfold, as the light continues to shine, as these new and wonderful and uplifting and good experiences come into our lives and are shared amongst our families and our neighborhoods, our workplaces, our community, and our world. This is how the light shines. This is how the love flows. This is how the good unfolds. And I am so grateful for it. Grateful for the good that's unfolding, grateful for the awareness of this law, and grateful for the ability to set this word of intention and release it into that law, knowing with absolute certainty that that law is already saying yes. And so I let it be. I say to these powerful intentions, off you go, knowing without any question that they are already being returned fulfilled. I know it's so. So it is. Amen. Take another deep, full breath in. Let it go. Maybe wiggle your fingers and toes, get some motion back in your body, become aware of your physicality. As Adam sings this next song, you can bring your awareness back into the room and the Zoom.
The sun goes up, now it's shining down. The rolling fog is now rolling out. The veil is lifted, my eyes can see. I am waking from this unintended dream. I'm in this moment, this is my home. Losing my worries, they won't control me. I am a warrior, this is my sword. Peacefully present as I win the war. I will make it, and I'll be fine. And I will shake this storm inside my mind. Yes, I will. The air is fresh, the air is clear. I breathe in love and I exhale fear. I am one with the world tonight, one with this moment here in paradise. I'm in this moment, this is my home. Losing my worries, they won't control me. I am a warrior, this is my sword. Peacefully present as I win the war. You know that I will make it, and I'll be fine. I will shake this storm inside my mind. And this all will pass. Just give it a moment. Yeah, that's all we have. It's where we live. Yeah, please bring me back. If I ever stray, look at me and say, I'm in this moment, this is my home. Losing my worries, they won't control me. I am a warrior, this is my sword. Peacefully present as I win the war. You know that I will make it, and I'll be fine. I will shake this storm inside my mind.
Awesome. Thank you, Adam. So we've been spiritual farmers or gardeners, planting some seeds this morning with some new ideas and some new invitations. So this is the time where we basically open up the floor. If somebody has something that's come up for you that you'd like to give voice to, that you'd like to share about what's unfolding for you as a result of this, just raise your hand or click your raise hand button and take a moment to talk. For myself, I love the Rainbow Connection. When I was on the radio, people told me that my voice sounded like Kermit. A is for awesome. Yes, it is. How are you, Annie?
Sleepy, but that's okay.
Okay.
I'm glad I woke up, even though it's I worked last night. So my mom always says that expectations are premeditated resentments, and that went well with the reading. And then your talk reminded me of I used to listen to Joyce Myers, which is ironic since I'm not Christian, but I really liked her. I really liked her tapes because it was on tape. And she used to say something to the effect of like, why would God give you more if you're not grateful for what you have? And I liked that sentiment at the time. And now that with the new thought, it seems negative instead of positive. So I like what you're saying, like just 10% better. It's just stretching it. And ever like since I came here and started hearing you say that, it was easy to believe. And that's the whole point. Like what 10% is really not that much. And I don't know, it's just so believable. And when you lean into what you can believe in, things just keep improving and improving. So thank you so much. I'm excited to go to work, feeling really good and grateful, and maybe tired, but that's okay.
Beautiful. Thank you. Yeah, 10% better. It's a great way of tricking ourselves into accepting more good than we really thought we could embrace. But it's in range. Jesus, you from the driver's seat.
Yes, Rev. How you doing? How the community doing? Good. I'm doing good. What I noticed today about myself, Adam singing. I know he's singing with motivation, enthusiasm. But today I just saw just God singing. That was me. It's not, I guess Adam sing like that all the time, but when I see what I want to see, and it's up to me. And Dr. Bill, thanks for mocking me, calling me man of little faith.
I'm talking to you.
Yeah, I know, but the way you saying that Jesus was mocking them, but that's what I know. It was wonderful. That talk is tremendous talk. It put me in a seat when I hear you speak about accountability and responsibility, and I'm not talking about me putting a finger about myself or putting a judgment. It just I respond to a higher calling, a higher frequency, in my awareness higher and higher. Cause you casting your pearls, and most of us are taking these pearls and cherish them. And I appreciate the way you say it, that if we got a choice, I got a choice. If my life is not going too well, I got a choice to change that for better. So I'm being accountable. I'm being responsible. It's not about me judging, me being a victim, or with my belief. You know, if my belief are not serving me, I change those beliefs to serve me, for I could have that 10% more you're talking about. So thank you.
Thank you, Jesus. Yeah. Anybody else got time for one more? Linda Francis, you over in Arizona.
So I really appreciate this. I just have one simple thing to say. 10% is totally attainable. And I really like that. I like that little push. So thank you.
Thank you.
Reverend Doctor, cousin.
Yeah, 10%. That's within the margin of error. That's, yeah, that's elbow room. That's and work it, use it, and then listen to what your belief system is saying. Sarah, it's your turn.
New Thought Philadelphia is all about spreading the love. Our community is supported by your contributions. The gift you share helps fund our work in the world, and the way you shine your light spreads the love. We are grateful for every way you share. We don't have a basket today, but there is a donate button on the website to make a donation by credit card or PayPal. You can also mail a check to our office in Ardmore. The offering affirmation is on the screen. You can unmute and we can say it all together. I live
in an abundant universe.
one
I am one with the infinite source of all good.
and
I am a center of conscious prosperity. I enjoy the richness of life. I bless my gift. Share my gift. Gratitude and joy. I know that as I give, I do receive.
And
So it is.
So it is.
Amen.
So Adam's going to do another song for us. I'm putting into the chat a link to a page on our website where we have the offering affirmation and also a recording of it. So what you can do is you can play the recording back in your headphone and just use your voice recorder to record yourself doing it and then email that to us. We're going to put together a cacophony of all of us together without having all the Zoom drop out. You can participate. You can be part of the chorus. Adam?
You are everything. Won't you rest at ease? All of these problems, see, they're only in your mind. Your mind. Your mind. It's only in your. Though you may be feeling overwhelmed, don't go ring that bell. As time goes on, you will find that there is only one real time and place. That's here and now. Don't lose your faith, no. You are everything. Won't you rest at ease? All of these problems, see, they're only in your mind. So come on, share the light and let the soul provide it. Lose expectancy, 'cause it's only in your mind. It's only in your fear is the reason you can't sleep and why you can't see. You've been blinded by the dark, so step out of that cave and take off those shades. You are the light, you now see you are everything. Won't you rest at ease? All of these problems, see, they're only in your mind. So come on, share the light and let the soul provide and lose expectancy, 'cause it's only in your mind. It's only in your. All of the birds and all of the bees are built of the same carbon as me, and we're all a part of the earth energy with universal connectivity. So open your heart, you will soon find you're breathing the air of one living life. All of this trouble and all of this pain you can resolve when you finally say, when you finally say, when you finally, you are everything. Won't you rest at ease? All of these problems, see, they're only in your mind. So come on, share this light. Let the soul provide. Oh, oh. You are the light to now see. Oh, oh, oh. It's only in your mind. You are everything. Won't you rest at ease? All of these problems, see, they're only in your mind.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you, Adam. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Let's end with another cacophony. So go ahead and unmute your microphone, reach through the vibrational connection that we have on Zoom and repeat after me. I am the love.
I am the
I
light.
am the love.
I am the light.
I am the light.
I let the love flow.
I let the love
Love flow.
I let the light shine.
I let the light shine.
10% brighter.
10%
brighter.
And so it is.
And
so it is.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You bet. Wonderful to have you guys here today.
Times.
Nice
So
job.
good to see everybody.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'm
That was
sending
wonderful.
you 10% warmth, 10% more sunshine, and 10% more warmth from Arizona.
Appreciate that.
10 more degrees.
Thank you, Reverend Bill.